Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with today's tech guests, but first we want to acknowledge our partners, the Global Community of Women in High School Sports, Vital Signs Wall of Fame, the Florida Coaches Coalition, and We Coach. You've heard me say many times, these are four great organizations. You really need to add them to your network. And now, please don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes or so. Listen to our podcast sponsorship shoutouts. These are all great companies that I used as a coach or an AD. You should be using them too. Here we go. We want to thank Home Campus for their support of the podcast. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association information management platform, and it's your one-stop platform for scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a lot more. As an athletic director, I used Home Campus every single day, and it was just great. And the Home Campus team was great to work with too. To find out more and get yourself signed up with Home Campus, simply go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. We also want to say thanks to Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. That's snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better. Of course, there's Snap Raise, their fundraising platform, but there is so much more to the Snap Mobile family. Go to snapraise.com. Check them all out today. We also want to say thanks to Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. They're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products, including their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's a great way to display your school records, your school Hall of Fame, or simply tell your story. Celebrate your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Gipper is the official social media graphics solution for our podcast. And if you go to Gipper.com, their team is going to show you how to create world-class marketing content for your school's social media channel. It's going to help you celebrate your athletes, promote your teams, and so much more. Kids are on social media today, and if you're not using Gipper, you're really missing out. Mention the podcast, they'll give you a nice discount as well. That's Gipper.com. Check them out today. We want to say thank you to Sideline Interactive indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demonstration, and see their tables and their scoreboards in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. It's just fantastic, and the Sideline team is great to work with too. That's sidelineinteractive.com. We want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to huddle.com and change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided to help them coach our kids at the highest level. Go to huddle.com and see why we believe in sports and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank District 1. Go to district1.com. That's WON, and you're going to feel like you've won when you check out their custom uniforms, their on-time delivery, 20 business days or less. And get this, they have one-at-a-time replacement ordering. You'll never have to order a full set when you just need one or two replacement sets. You'll find it all at District 1, WON, district1.com. Click on the Team Gear button and get your free quote at district1.com. We also want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. Hometown is the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more. Hometown will show you how to set up and sell tickets online for all your events, not just athletics. They'll also provide you with a dedicated client success manager to give you hands-on support every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com and check out everything they can do for you. That's hometownticketing.com. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to show you how they can set up a custom survey for your school that lets you take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes. ADs usually only hear back from the complainers, the people that want to gripe about everything, and that's really only about 2%. Athletic surveys will connect you with that 2% and also the 98% that love and support your program, which is a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to a principal, a school board, or a frustrated parent. You can get started by going to athleticsurveys.com. Check them out today. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We frequently allow our sponsors to take a little bit of a deeper dive into some of their products for our regular listeners and our new listeners. And we've got a great guest today. We're going to be visiting with Alexa Morelli. She's part of the SNAP mobile team, but she's going to share with us a little bit about a platform called FanX. And I'm excited to hear about it. But first, Alexa, welcome to the Educational AD Podcast.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay. For our listeners, give us a real quick bio, where you kind of grew up and went to school and your connection with athletics. And then we're going to take that deep dive into FanX. But what's the Alexa Morelli story?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm from a town called Oswego, Illinois. It's a suburb outside of Chicago. Grew up there, was an athlete growing up. I played sports throughout high school, all 4 years, went to Oswego High School, which was a great place to grow up. And I felt like, athletics was a big part of school and just kind of what we did, going to games and all of that. Left Illinois and went to the University of Arizona, chose that school because it was somewhere warm, and they also had great school spirit, and we had an awesome basketball team, especially when I went there. I graduated in 2017, studied journalism and sports marketing, decided to go into the sports side of things. Started out my career in sales, doing nothing to do with sports. I actually sold copiers, which was just a way to kind of get my career started, if you will. Super boring. Then I started and transitioned over into the sports technology space with a company called FanFood. Went from FanFood to a company called From Now On, and From Now On's core product was FanX. So that's what brought me to Snap Mobile.
Okay. And now FanX is part of the Snap mobile team, correct?
Correct. So just a few months ago now, I believe it was officially in February of 2023, Snap Mobile acquired FanX specifically. And FanX is a branded mobile app platform that serves as a one-stop shop for, the school to bring everything athletics and activities wise into one place. So yeah, now we're a part of the Snap Mobile family and very excited about that.
Well, again, this is Tech Tuesday, and we started this many weeks ago for athletic directors, I think kind of like I was, maybe older, later in the game to technology, maybe a little apprehensive about, using tech. And, I'm certainly not a tech guru now, but I've seen, the tremendous help that these apps and platforms can provide for athletic directors and coaches. So share a little bit about FanX and obviously how can athletic directors use it and find out more about it.
Yeah, for sure. So when we created FanX in 2015, we actually started in the college market. So very well known in the college space. We work with several colleges from D1 on down to D3 and NAIA. And then we actually work with the NCAA and do some of their championship apps. So that's something to check out as well. We do the College World Series app for men and women. About 3-4 years ago, we had the realization that our technology was also an awesome fit for high schools. And some high schools even work like small colleges, if you will, too already. So it's really amazing over the past 3-4 years, what we've seen high schools do with our technology. And our high schools get to use it at a much lower price than, the large D1 colleges are using it for. So I think that's pretty cool. It really helps them establish their brand. So like I said, it is a branded mobile app platform. So each school gets their own individual app. It's not the Snap app and they select their school from like a menu. It's totally theirs. So using the reference of where I grew up, Oswego High School, right now we're building the Oswego High School app, which I couldn't be more excited as an alumni to download. like I said, branded mobile app. Some of the things that the app includes are going to be like schedules, rosters. You could include news. It's great to include your digital ticketing in there. We integrate with several digital ticketing platforms, including, the big players in the high school space, as well as your streaming. So we can include your streaming, whether that's through, any provider that you choose. And then there's also a communication piece to the app through push notifications, which are super helpful. I know a pain point of a lot of high school athletic directors is streamlined communication. I ask, high school athletic directors all the time, how do you handle communication? And they're like, oh, it's all over the place. We do this, we do that. I have a million apps on my phone. It's so frustrating. And think about the parents too. If I'm a parent and I have 2 kids, let's say in high school, and they're each 3 sport athletes, can you imagine how many communication platforms you have to have on your phone as that one parent? So our app brings that communication into one place through those push notifications. So there's a customized experience for the fan, as we call them, where they get to, follow the sports in the app that they want. So if the parents just want to follow the sports that their kid plays, they can do that. And then they're asked to select their affiliation or what type of fan they are. So in that case, the parent example, they would select parent. And then they get customized push notifications based on what they follow in their affiliation. So the school can communicate with people based on that information that the app collects from them. So it really streamlines communication that way. Besides that, there's a lot of other pieces to the app. Sponsorship is a big piece too. Being a part of Snap Mobile, which Snap Mobile's core product is Snap Raise, and fundraising for athletic departments and for individual teams. The app helps with that too. You can not only have your Snap Raise campaigns in the app, but there's a big sponsorship piece. There's actually over 30 placements in the app that the school can go and sell and then make money from that sponsorship revenue. So it's really great to further fundraise. We've seen schools do awesome things with that. Also, it's a great way to engage students. I mean, I feel like another pain point I'm hearing from athletic directors is that, we're a couple years off of COVID and it's hard to get kids back going to games and engaged, with all this streaming, which you want to have the streams available, especially for grandma, grandpa that live on the other side of the country. I think that's important and athletic directors would probably agree. But what about the kids, that are just choosing to maybe watch the game live and not go to the game, or they're choosing to do something else with their Friday night now because they have, so many other options. So we have some ways in the app to kind of engage those students. We actually have a student rewards program that they can use to reward students for attending games and reward them with points, as well as giving them prizes that they can spend their points on. So that's really fun. And we've been using that in the college market for a while. There's a lot of colleges that use it, but it's now growing in crazy popularity with high schools. So I think that's so cool to see what they do with it. And then one thing we never imagined high schools doing with the app that they've done with it is getting the students involved in managing the app and creating cool content for the app and using real world experience from managing the app that they can then take into the job market, into college after graduation from high school. So if a school has like an existing digital media program or a sports marketing program or even like a journalism or yearbook program, it might be something that they fit in there, whether it's a class or a club, and they have the kids be the main, runners of the app. And it's so cool and the kids love it. We even are willing to take like a classroom full of kids through training for the app. We don't mind doing that ourselves and teaching them how to do it and run with it. And you'd be amazed with some of the cool things that they come up with. So I know I covered a lot there, but hopefully that wasn't too long of a winded answer to your question.
No, it's great. And I love your term there. I've never heard that, but it's so true. Pain point, a pain point for athletic directors. Again, a lot of stuff you covered there. You finished with getting kids involved. That was something later in my career, I really worked hard to do. We had students, student public address announcers, students contributing to that content through social media. And you're absolutely right. When you can get the kids to buy in, number one, and then also start creating, very, very cool. All right. You're talking to that cranky old athletic director like I was, that's apprehensive about tech. How hard is it to go from 0 to 60 with FanX and even with Snap?
Yeah, for sure. So I probably talk to, no offense, at least one cranky old athletic director a day, because I'm meeting with a lot of athletic directors every day. And while the technology might be newer to them, they're still very excited about it. We are always willing, so there's like a back end of the app where we show you kind of how to operate it. So we're always willing to show you that. It's very, very extremely user friendly. I always say I work for a technology company and I'm not even like an expert on technology. And it's very easy to use for really anyone. And we also integrate with a lot of existing technology. So that helps too, because they might not have to learn a lot of new technology to use ours, including different scheduling platforms. Just talking to a few that I see behind you, like Home Campus, we integrate with their technology, as well as other scheduling platforms. We have our own called Snap Manage that we integrate with. So we have plenty of athletic directors who already use that. So that scheduling data and things like that pull into the app directly. Things like hometown ticketing, things like Huddle, we can have that automatically show up in the app. So there's a lot of things that they're already using that the app just brings together in one place for the community. So it's not necessarily having to learn to do a lot of new things for them.
I love that. And I love that you're also, friendly with so many of our sponsors, because again,
Yeah.
we only have products that I've used as a coach or an AD. Alexa, this has been really cool, but I know you're extremely busy. If one of our listeners wants to reach out, find out more about Snap and FanX, or pick your brain a little bit, I think you probably are a tech guru. What's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, so they can email me directly. It's just alexa.morelli@snapmobile.com. So they're welcome to reach out to me there. And then just reach out on our website too. That's snapmobile.com. So they can reach out to us there and just inquire about more info, whether that's through just a demo submission form, and we can get them set up with the demo if they want to see more there. And then I can also provide my direct calendar link if they just want to book time with me to take them through a demo, to pick my brain. I definitely don't mind. So I can share that with you directly too.
Also, for our listeners, we're recording this on June 28th, so it's going to be very timely by the time you're listening to it. I know the bulk of the state athletic director and coaching conference schedule is over for the summer. I know there is a big one coming up in Orlando, August 19th. Are you going to be around the country anywhere at any conferences that our listeners could attend?
We should have a presence there as Snap Mobile. So we're usually at all those big state conferences. So I am sure that we will be there in Orlando. I myself was just at I went to the Illinois Athletic Directors Show, the MIAAA in Michigan, as well as the North Carolina AD show. So I try to get around as much as I can. But we always have representatives at those state AD shows. So any upcoming ones, Snap Mobile representative should be there.
All right. Well, we hope to see everybody at the Florida Coaches Coalition All Sports Clinic. That's going to be Saturday, August 19th in Orlando. Check it out on Twitter. Check it out online for more information. It's free for coaches and ADs. Alexa, thanks so much for sharing with our audience today, and all the best moving forward with Snap and FanX.
Thank you so much.
For our listeners, we do this every single week, and we upload the Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening. Come back next Tuesday for more great tech advice, and just about every day on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Hey, before we go, we want to acknowledge our sponsors one last time. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Let them show you what they can do. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com. You'll be amazed at all the things they can do for your program. We want to thank Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Their products are a great way to tell your school's stories, to share your history, to celebrate your athletes. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Mention the podcast, they'll give you a nice discount. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Gipper's the official social media graphic solution of the podcast. They should be your official solution as well. Go to gipper.com to get started. Mention the podcast, they'll give you a nice discount as well. We want to thank Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. We use Sideline Interactive at our school, and it's just great. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made as an AD. Go to sidelineinteractive.com for more information. You just heard a great Tech Tuesday about the SNAP mobile platform. Go to snapraise.com, find out even more. That's snapraise.com. We also want to say thanks to Home Campus, the exclusive information management and student athlete eligibility program for the podcast. I used it every day when I was an AD. You should be using Home Campus too. Go to homecampus.com. If you're looking for great custom uniforms, stop looking. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. You're going to feel like you've won. District1.com. And Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com. Talk to the pros. They're the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Hometownticketing.com. Check them out today. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Educational AD Podcast. If you stuck around this long, we're going to reward you. Shoot me a text or an email. The email is jakestouchdown@gmail.com. The text, my cell phone, 305-218-1325. Shoot me a text or an email. The first person to do this, I'm going to give $100 to, $100 cash. Thanks for listening to the Educational AD Podcast.